A search on epicurious.com for lasagna asparagus will produce two recipes developed nearly 20 years apart. While it is clear they share a similar concept, the recipes use different ingredients, perhaps reflecting the changes in taste over time. This evolution is the norm, not the exception, with most recipes being permutations and combinations of previous ones. We see this frequently in food blogs where recipes are adapted to fit the tastes of a different time or geography. The adaptation of recipes recalls the software development concept of forking, where code is reused to make a similar but new piece of software. A side effect of this is that sites like GitHub can now determine the influence of programmers based on how often their code is forked. Including the convenient choice of terminology, forking is directly applicable to the development of recipes. Take, for example, a simple roux. It can be forked by adding veal stock into a sauce espagnole. Alternatively, the roux could be modified into a classic gravy with the addition of chicken stock instead. As these modifications continue over time, a recipe lineage is developed. As descendant recipes are forked as well, the culinary tree fills out. We are developing a platform to record this process. Suppose that Escoffier wants to create a recipe for brown roux. Since he is the first person recording a roux recipe, he decides to create his own rather than fork a previous one. As he adds each ingredient to the recipe, a list of dynamically generated suggestions appears at the side of the screen. These suggestions are based on data from tens of thousands of recipes and are designed to help users create successful dishes. As butter and flour are more typical of baking recipes, the suggestions follow along these lines. Since Escoffier already had a recipe in mind, he ignores the suggestions and adds a picture. Once he saves the recipe, it appears on the main page and is ready to be adapted. Clicking the fork button makes a copy of the recipe to be modified and records that they are related. Escoffier just needs to add veal stock to make this sauce. By separating the quantity, measure, and ingredient name, ingredients are given structure, allowing changes to be tracked across recipes. The suggestions list is also updated, now showing ingredients more typical of French savory dishes. A nice future fork of this sauce might include red wine and morels. After finishing editing the recipe, Escoffier saves it and is now visible on the listings page. The lineage of the recipe appears on the right, showing that this sauce descends from the brown roux. A hierarchical structure for recipes opens many new opportunities for the world of cuisine. By tracking the evolution of dishes in the past, it will be possible to formulate trends for the future and determine the influence of recipes and their creators.